The crowd are on their feet. Eala barely has the energy to get to the net to congratulate her opponent on a classic. Oh, again. Really smart play. Oh, brilliant work by Sasnovich. And Sasnovich breaks again. This is ruthless. And 35 minutes. Better. Much better. Again. Cool.
Let's go back to the beginning. Let's rewind the tape to the first hour of this match, because to truly appreciate the miracle you have to understand the massacre that preceded it. Sasnovich came out of the gate looking like a world #1. She was seeing the ball like it was the size of a beach ball. She was hitting lines, she was painting the corners, and she was making Eala look like a junior player who had wandered onto the wrong court by accident. The score was 6-2 in the first set, but it felt like 6-0. Eala was reacting to everything. She wasn't dictating play. She was just trying to survive the barrage of heavy flat ground strokes that Sasnovich was sending her way. You could see the frustration building in the young Filipino star, looking up at her box, looking at her racket strings as if they were broken, looking for answers that simply were not there. Sasnovich plays a style of tennis that is suffocating. She takes the ball early. She robs you of your time, and when she is on, when she is feeling the rhythm, she is almost unplayable for someone outside the top 10. Eala managed to scrap through the second set, and we have to give her credit for that. She showed heart. She showed grit. She managed to level the match at 1-all. But everyone in the stadium, the commentators, the fans, and probably even Eala herself, knew that the momentum was fragile. It was a house of cards waiting for a stiff breeze to knock it over. And in the third set, that breeze turned into a hurricane. This is where the nightmare begins. This is the part of the video where you need to look at the scoreboard and really internalize what you are seeing. The third set begins, and Sasnovich decides she has had enough of playing games. She shifts gears, she locks in, and she starts to dismantle Eala piece by piece, bone by bone. She breaks her serve in the first game. Then she holds serve. Then she breaks her again, and suddenly in the blink of an eye, it is 3-0. Eala tries to hold on. She tries to stop the bleeding. But Sasnovich is relentless. She is a machine. She breaks again. It is 4-0 in the deciding set. Do you have any idea what the statistical probability of winning a match is when you are down 0-4 in the third set against a top 50 caliber player? It is less than 1%. It is a rounding error. It is basically 0. At this point, the body language tells the entire story. Sasnovich is walking with her chest out, striding to the baseline, not even sweating. She is already thinking about her dinner. She is thinking about the next round. She is thinking about the ranking points she has just secured. Eala, on the other hand, looks defeated. Her shoulders are slumped. Her head is down. The fight has left her eyes. Or at least that is what we thought.
Wide. Oh, that's magnificent. And Sasnovich with the first mini break. How did Alexandra Eala win that?
And then we arrive at the moment, the singularity, the split second where the timeline diverged. It is 4-1. Sasnovich is still in total control. She has match points. She has the game on her racket. She hits a shot that is destined to be a winner. Or maybe Eala hits a defensive lob that is floating long. But then it happens. The net cord. The tape. That white strip of canvas at the top of the net that has decided more careers than any coach or any training regimen. The ball hits the tape. Physics takes a holiday. The ball pops up. It hangs in the air, defying gravity for a fraction of a second. And in that moment, Sasnovich freezes. She watches the ball. She prays to the tennis gods that it falls back, that it drops on Eala's side. But the gods were not listening to Belarus today. The ball trickles over. It drops dead on Sasnovich's side. A dead net cord. The most lucky serendipitous fluke shot in the sport of tennis. The commentator yells, "She got so lucky." And he is absolutely right. It was pure unadulterated luck. But let me tell you something about luck. It is a virus. It infects the mind of the person who didn't get it. Sasnovich looked at that ball and you could see her soul leave her body for a second. She couldn't believe it. She had done everything right. She had built the lead. She had dominated the play. And a piece of canvas just robbed her of the victory. From that moment on, the match ceased to be a physical contest and became a psychological war. Eala, who was dead and buried moments ago, suddenly realized she was still breathing. That one point gave her a heartbeat. She holds serve. It's 4-2. Now 4-2 is still a massive lead for Sasnovich. All she has to do is hold her serve 2 more times. Just put the ball in the court, play safe, don't take risks. But she can't do it. The yips set in. The yips are a real thing, folks. It's when an elite athlete suddenly forgets how to perform a basic motor function because the pressure has short-circuited their nervous system. Sasnovich starts to tight-arm the ball. Her swing, which was fluid and loose for 2 hours, suddenly looks jagged and stiff. She double faults. She hits a forehand into the bottom of the net. She sprays a backhand wide by 3 feet. She is playing against a ghost now. She isn't playing against Eala. She is playing against the fear of choking. And the fear of choking is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you try not to choke, the tighter you get. And the tighter you get, the worse you play. Eala smells the blood in the water. She is like a shark. She sees the hesitation in Sasnovich's eyes, and she pounces. She starts hitting deeper. She starts grunting louder. She starts pumping her fist after every point. And we have to talk about the crowd. We have to talk about the demographics of Abu Dhabi. There is a massive Filipino diaspora in the UAE. Hundreds of thousands of Filipinos live and work there. And they showed up. They showed up in droves. And as Eala started to claw her way back, that stadium turned into a cauldron of noise. Every time Eala won a point, the roar was deafening. Laban Pilipinas. Let's go, Alex. Imagine being Sasnovich in that moment. You are thousands of miles from home. You are alone on the court. You are blowing a 4-0 lead. And every time you make a mistake, 3,000 people scream in joy. It is isolating. It is terrifying. And it breaks you. Sasnovich started to look at the umpire, looking for help, looking for someone to quiet the crowd. But you can't quiet momentum. You can't silence a tsunami. The score goes to 4, then 4-4. The lead is gone. The 4-0 lead that seemed insurmountable is now history. It is dust in the wind. We are back on serve. And now the pressure shifts entirely to the veteran. Sasnovich is now thinking, I cannot lose this match. If I lose this match after being up 4-0, I will never forgive myself. And that thought is poison. Eala is thinking, I have nothing to lose. I was already dead. I am playing with house money. House money is the most dangerous thing in sports. They trade holds, they trade breaks, and we find ourselves at 6-6 in the third set. A deciding tiebreak. The ultimate sudden death. First to 7 points, win by 2. This is where legends are made and careers are broken. In the tiebreak, you would expect the veteran to steady the ship, to rely on her experience. But Sasnovich is completely gone mentally. She is a shell of the player she was in the first set. She is pushing the ball. She is terrified of missing. Eala steps up, and she starts ripping winners. She hits a backhand down the line that is so clean it didn't even make a sound. She hits a forehand cross-court that dips right at the baseline. She isn't waiting for Sasnovich to miss anymore. She is taking the match. She gets to match point. The tension in the stadium is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Sasnovich serves. Eala returns deep. They rally 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots. Nobody wants to make the mistake. Sasnovich tries to go for a slightly more aggressive angle to get out of the point, but her feet are heavy, her timing is off, and the ball sails long. It sails past the baseline. Pandemonium. Absolute chaos. Look at the reaction of Alexandra Eala. At 4 minutes and 40 seconds. She doesn't run to the net immediately. She drops her racket as if it burns her hands. She brings her hands to her face. She looks like she has seen a ghost. She is shaking. She is physically shaking. The crowd explodes. Flags are waving. People are crying in the stands. This wasn't just a tennis match for them. This was national pride. This was representation on the global stage. Eala walks to the net to shake hands, and you can see Sasnovich is just numb. She gives a quick handshake. She wants to get off the court as fast as humanly possible. She wants to go into a dark room and forget this day ever happened. But for Eala, this is the moment she arrived. She just proved that she can beat a top veteran, not with her skill alone, but with her mind, with her heart, and with a little bit of help from the net court. Why does this matter? Why are we spending 20 minutes talking about a second-round match in Abu Dhabi? Because this is a microcosm of life. We have all been down 0-4 in the third set. We have all faced situations that looked impossible. We have all had moments where we wanted to give up, where the opponent was too strong, where the hole was too deep. Sasnovich represents the obstacles, the cold, hard reality of the world that tries to beat you down. Eala represents the human spirit, the irrational belief that as long as there is 1 point left to play, you are not beaten. It shows us that momentum is real, that psychology is more important than physical skill at the highest level, and that sometimes, just sometimes, you need a little bit of luck to start a revolution. If that ball hits the net cord and falls back, Eala loses. She goes home. Nobody talks about this match. It's just another statistic. But it went over, and because it went over, we have this story. We have this lesson. Let's break down the technical failure of Sasnovich in those final games, because it is a masterclass in what not to do. When you are leading, you must stay aggressive. You must play to win, not play not to lose. Sasnovich stopped moving her feet. In tennis, footwork is everything. If your feet stop, your preparation is late. If your preparation is late, you can't hit through the ball. If you can't hit through the ball, it lands short. If it lands short, your opponent can attack. It is a chain reaction of failure that starts in the mind and ends in the feet. Eala, conversely, started moving better as the match went on. Her adrenaline was masking her fatigue. She was sliding into shots she wouldn't have reached in the first set. She was anticipating. This is what confidence does. Confidence is a performance-enhancing drug that is completely legal. It makes you faster, stronger, and more precise. And think about the Filipino fans again. We cannot overstate their impact. In tennis, silence is the norm. You are supposed to be quiet during points, but the energy these fans brought was infectious. They turned an individual sport into a team sport. They were lifting Eala up with their voices. Every cheer was a transfer of energy. You could see Eala feeding off it, looking at the crowd, nodding, getting hyped. It broke the isolation. She wasn't alone anymore. She had an army behind her. Sasnovich was fighting an army with a tennis racket. It was an unfair fight in the end. This match will go down in history, not because it was a Grand Slam final, but because it was the perfect storm of drama. It had everything: the dominant favorite, the helpless underdog, the impossible scoreline, the lucky break, the choke, the comeback, the atmosphere. It is the perfect story. And as we watch Eala sign the camera lens, as we watch her wave to the crowd with tears in her eyes, we are reminded that in sports, nothing is scripted, and that is why we watch. We watch for the glitches. We watch for the miracles. We watch for the moment where 0-4 becomes a victory. So the next time you are down, the next time you think it's over, remember Alexandra Eala in Abu Dhabi. Remember the net cord. Remember that it ain't over until the last ball lands out. This is the beauty of the game. This is the madness of tennis. And this is why Alexandra Eala is a name you will be hearing for a very, very long time. She looked into the abyss, and the abyss blinked first.